Welcome to the rest of my life, special edition. We've been a 3-day weekend with a lot of events happening, and so we're going to have a special edition. My wife and I are sitting on the sofa. We're going to go over something. But before I do, a little bit of editorializing. I don't know if you've noticed, but they put less and less chapstick in the damn tube every year. It seems like I just opened this tube, and I just reached the point of no return on it. All right. Now, my wife has prepared a text to read the history of our interactions with our internet access provider company, and we had just a big fuck up over the last couple of weeks, and she's going to read the document to you.
I'm not going to read it so much as we're going to discuss it.
Okay.
So we live in this rural area, but it's not really rural because our county is adjacent to the neighboring town of 130,000 people, home of the State University. Next door, you can get broadband, any kind of internet service you want. They have all kinds of infrastructure set up. Whereas here we are, 7 miles outside of that county, and we have shit for services. And after a while, you just get used to living with shitty service. And you don't expect anything else. But when the shitty service breaks down, then you get upset. And then you try to get help. And that's what happened several weeks ago. Tell them.
Okay. We've got the main computer in the little area between the kitchen and the reading area. That's the main computer. My son has a huge gaming computer in his room, and I have a Chromebook laptop in my studio. And everything was fine until a couple of weeks ago when I began to notice that in the middle of the night, I'll be in my studio painting, listening to stuff on the laptop, and about after midnight, after 1 o'clock in the morning sometime, you'd start getting shitty reception. No internet access. And anyway, it goes on and on and on and on. And a couple of weeks ago, we had nothing for a couple of days.
At that point,
but anyway, let's let you handle this.
I get up one morning, the guys are upset, there's no internet at all, nobody can get anything. I am the tech support for the family. I run down all the routines, I check all the connections, I do all the resets, reboots, and I finally have to get on the phone with our internet provider. It's a Sunday. And so I end up speaking to someone either in Indonesia or India. My guess is India. And I am on a cell phone at this point, and it is 23 minutes into it. I'm racking up my time, and I've been put on hold I don't know how many times. And every time they get back on the phone, they repeat the same little couple of lines. Thank you for waiting. We are very sorry that you had to wait. And it's this repetition, and it's the most coherent thing that you get out of them. Will you try it now? Yes. Did you do such a... Yes. Have you checked the lines? Yes. Can you undo and redo? Yes. I do all the things. Okay, we have reset. Sorry, still no internet. Okay, we'll call you back. Another half hour spent on the phone with these folks. Same nonsense, same person, same bullshit, no service. The end of it is, it's not us, it's you. There's nothing on our line. We will have to schedule a tech that will come out in November. At this point, it's September the freaking 11th. I'm like, November? Oh, wait, we will see if we can get... Yes. We will get someone in this Friday. Okay. So... that day, I also got bitten by a spider. Or we think it was a spider. I have no way to reference it. I have no way to look it up. I have to call my daughter to get information. This is what it looks like. I send her a picture. She compares it. Yeah, I think it's probably a spider bite. Sunday passes. I wake up at 1 a.m. on Monday morning, and my leg is on fire. My daughter's still up. I send her another picture. We go over the symptoms. By 3 o'clock, I know I've got to be in the ER. I call Lance, and he has to come and take me to the ER. I have no way of getting any information about anything except through these folks. And I can't send any pictures to my doctor because everything is done online these days. Nothing. So Lance takes me to the ER. I ended up getting this massive swelling and infection. I'm on antibiotics for 10 days. I have narcotics. It's an absolute nightmare. All the while, we still don't have internet service. So, the Tuesday after the stuff goes out, we get a flyer in the mail from Spectrum. I decide, maybe we should try Spectrum.
I think we should. Have you mentioned that the people we were with is a small southeastern American company called Windstream?
Well, they've expanded, and they've joined up with a thing called Kinetic. So, I called Windstream to verify. This is on Tuesday. I called Windstream to verify the Friday appointment. It's a whole new group of people. These people sound Nigerian, like I've been sent to yet another part of the world. Their English is better, and after all, I'm able to communicate with them. And I'm telling them I have checked everything. I've gone so far as to replace all the cords. I'm crawling around, hobbled, and yet I've replaced all the cords, all the connections, you name it, I've done it. The only thing I can figure is it must be the modem. So I'm telling them when the guy comes on Friday, they need to bring a modem. Well, if he comes on Friday, he will have to verify it. And if he says that it is the modem, then he will have to order one. Okay. Wednesday. At this point, we're fed up. I call Spectrum. I get on the phone with them. And I'm feeling slightly better at this point. At least I don't have to go back to the ER. And so I get on the phone with Spectrum. And I talked to this guy, and he is just as nice as can be, and he's wonderful. I order internet, supposedly up to 300 megabytes per second, and get a phone service for $68.98 with a $49.99 installation fee. Lance is primary on the account. I'm secondary on the account. I'm told they're going to be out the next day, Thursday, from between 8 and 9 a.m. Happy as a clam. Thursday rolls around, 10 a.m. Nobody's here from Spectrum. Windstream calls to say they have a disconnect order through Spectrum. I say, no, wait, don't disconnect us. I call Spectrum at this point on Thursday. I'm told it's not going to be this Thursday. It said it's going to be next Thursday. A week from when we were told they were going to be here. I call again to find out why the delay. Told at that point, I'm not on the account. They won't talk to me. Lance works at night. He sleeps during the day. There's no way I'm talking to Lance about this, so I get Peter to call back and say he's Lance. They say
fraud.
They say they need to confirm ID and would email us code. We reiterate the reason we need their services. We have no internet. They call our home phone number while we're on the line. Get a call waiting signal. They give us the code. Peter, as Lance, puts me on the account again after he's had the ID confirmed. Told we were supposedly signed up for internet, phone, and TV. No. Not what we ordered. We ordered just the internet and phone. Then we're told the phone is causing the installation delay. We drop the phone option. Okay. Then we're still told it's going to be next Thursday for the hookup. But yet we're put on the waiting list if something opens up. Lance wakes up midday, asks why no internet.
Okay.
You were livid, right?
Yeah, I'm not. This has been going on so long. I'm getting all mixed up as to what happened, what day, and when happened everything. But.
So Lance gets on the phone with Spectrum. It verifies all the information, and when it comes to re-verify installation, we're told that no one answered when they called for a new appointment that day. We were on the phone with them. We weren't going to answer the phone when we weren't expecting a call. So, Spectrum calls an hour later. Lance is asleep at this point. I'm thrilled. Maybe this is it. We can get an early appointment. No. They're calling to sell us on adding on TV, cell plans, etc. I don't even have service set up with them, and they want to sell us something. Then, Thursday afternoon, this is the same week, the internet randomly stops working after Kinetic.
Okay, hold on.
But I need you to confirm. That's what I'm following up on it.
Yes, we're confirming that we're canceling, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My apologies. You know, again, I'm also a subcontractor. I'm just working in the operator service. It happens not very often, but yeah, if you give me a confirmation, I can go ahead and clear you off. You won't have anybody coming in. And I can see that, yeah, it's 1,000 feet away from where you need the service. That'll be more than a complex job. So I can understand why you will prefer to just to drop it. I'm so sorry about my apologies for bothering you on a Saturday.
Okay.
Hope you have a great Saturday, okay?
All right.
I'll go ahead and cancel everything out and tell everybody that needs to know.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Did you catch any of that?
Okay, I guess you guys heard a little bit of that. They called in the middle of our spiel. That was Spectrum calling in the middle of our fucking spiel about how shitty they are to tell us, I'm looking at the map and it looks like there's a daycare center and this must be a commercial property and no, this is a house, you dumb fucks. There's a nursing home across the street. Oh, I'm just a subcontractor, and the people who stopped by were just subcontractors. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, continue with what you're saying, Bonnie.
So the first week, it's that Thursday. That Thursday we were supposed to have gotten this great new service. So I'm like, okay, so we're going to get it finally next week. So I spent the entire evening migrating all of our information from our Windstream account email to our other account, so that we can have all the banking and all the other stuff taken care of. So Friday of that week, Windstream was scheduled to check our lines, and nobody showed up. Between 8 and 6, no one shows up. The following week, I called on a Tuesday to verify the Spectrum was going to come that Thursday at 8 to 9 o'clock hour. Nope. The time had been changed to 10 to 11. First thing I've heard about it. I'm on the phone with them, confirming the time, and once again, they start trying to sell me extra crap. I explained to them after the first thing they tried to sell me, I'm not going to buy into anything else until you guys actually show up, set up service, and we have reliable service for a while. Only then will I consider adding on anything. So I say this, and then he proceeds to try to sell me something else. I said nothing at this point. The guys met with complete silence, because there's no way I'm repeating the same spiel. After a moment's pause, he goes, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do my job. We're supposed to do this, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't do it. I'm sorry, how many ways? Good God! No means no. Wednesday of that week, this is the second week we're now screwed, call Windstream that Wednesday to verify that we're still going to have service and not be disconnected. After all, they'd called the previous week, and I told them to cancel that cancellation. Nope, they were scheduled to cancel the very next day. So I had to cancel the cancellation. I explained that we've been in without service. They give us a credit on the account at this point. A very brief moment. I'm happy about it.
Page 2.
I think it's actually page 3. So, on Thursday, Spectrum is supposed to show up of the second week. They're supposed to be there from 10 to 11. Guy shows up at 9 a.m. Says, nope, we can't do this. Says he can't get us hooked up because they're going to have to run a line from across the street and catty-cornered under the street and then through our yard.
Now listen.
They're supposed to run a line. So they schedule these people to come out 5 to 7 days. They don't know exactly when. They'll give us a call and let us know when. They're going to have somebody call and set up a time to come out and all this crap. So they've got an order in to do this. Lance gets up and we start talking about it.
Now hold on. Let's back up just one little wee second. All right, this is related to a problem that goes back to the 80s. When I was a kid, there was no cable out in this part of the woods. No cable. Finally, cable comes to town, but it's only on the other side of the street. This side of the street didn't have cable because the telephone poles are all on that side of the street. So when these idiots show up, they go, oh, well, the poles are over here. So what we're going to have to do is we'll have to dig a hole under the road and then dig a hole across. Now look, there's a water line and there's a natural gas line. They'll have to somehow not cut through these two and dig a hole, 1,000, 2,000 feet to get to our house? I said, no, forget it. Because these idiots are going to tear the road up. They're going to cut through the natural gas line. They're going to cut through the water line. God knows what they're going to do. So forget it. All right.
So here we are on that day. We talk about it. It's 1 week and 1 day since we ordered Spectrum. Call them back and say, forget it. We're tired of it. We've done nothing but get the runaround, nothing but get the hard sell. Cancel it. Cancel it. Cancel it. So, at this point, I'm desperate. Okay? I talked to a guy who has set up a computer for Peter. And I say, if we're having these problems, explain what's going on. He goes, first off, you need to deal with your internet service provider. My first recommendation is you need to get a new modem. And he said, and we can come in and we can help you out. We can set up a booster and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. All right. So I call Windstream at this point. This is our original provider. And I can't get anybody on the line. So I go to their site. And I do a live chat with them. And I say, we've had these problems. We're without service, yada, yada, yada. Windstream has just suddenly started working at that point. We don't know why. It just suddenly started. So I'm actually able to get online. And I'm able to do this chat with them. And I told them the problems. And I said, we need a new modem. Well, that's going to be $10.99 a month. I'm sorry. We have a plan. It's a plan for life bundle. It includes all of this, that, and the other. We get free upgrades. We get free upgrades of speed. We get free upgrades of equipment. We're paying a price for life. This is what we've got. I'm sorry, it's going to be $10.99 a month. Okay, so I'm sitting there figuring out the numbers. I'm giving her how much it's going to cost us a year. I said, you want to charge me $10.99 a month for a thing that's going to cost less than $200 overall. I said, we've been with your service for X number of years. And I just threw out the numbers to her. I mean, they wanted what would amount to thousands of dollars in fees. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I stopped the thing. Strangely, I end up getting this little survey within hours from Windstream. Were you satisfied with your service that you received on such and such date? I write back, no, I'm not satisfied. And I'll tell you exactly why I'm not satisfied. And I just laid it out line by line with all the problems that we've had with Windstream over the years. Technicians not showing up, pointing to the most recent one that when they hadn't showed up, dropped service, bad service in the middle of the night, etc. Interrupted service, slow upload speeds, slow download speeds, you name it. I list it. Next thing I know is I get an email within a couple hours of that saying, wow, okay, let's make this right. I'd like to call you tomorrow. Okay, so they call me. And we discuss it. And she goes, we're going to upgrade you. Now, mind you, I thought we were at 6. Apparently, we were at 12. Now, mind you, we were only getting 3 to 4 average. She goes, we're going to upgrade you to 25, which is where you're supposed to be at now. And we're going to give you a free modem. There's no charge for that. And I'm going to have a guy out there 2 Fridays from now. I said, I'll believe it when I see it. The guy shows up a week early. That was yesterday. He comes in, and he's working on the thing, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
Tell him what you did, dear. You went looking for him.
I drove down the road looking for him because
we at this point we have no telephone service.
Well, what happened was
internet, nothing.
My wife and son were out doing stuff, and he's here, and my wife said, we're on our way, we're going to have lunch. I said, well, the Windstream man is going to be here in 60 seconds. He called. And so...
oh, Lord.
Yeah. So anyway...
So he shows up, he leaves without telling us. We have no phone service. We have no internet at this point. And we're like, what the hell happened? And he's gone. So Lance gets onto the phone, and he is trying to talk to somebody once again.
Oh, let me tell you.
Oh, my God.
Look, so I'm calling these people, and they got they're farming out their customer service phone lines to people on the other side of the globe. I'm trying to talk to these people, and their phone connection to us is horrible. I was screaming in the phone, are you having a party there in the office?
They had
because
all
you could
kinds
hear
of noise,
you
chairs
could hear
rattling, people screaming.
You could hear all these other people, all the other conversations, as if there were other lines or as if they were actually having a party.
It was insane.
And anyway.
So you ended up hanging up. So I can't call back on a regular line, so I pick up another cell phone, and I turn it on. It's the emergency phone. And Windstream has linked our emergency cell to our account. And the next thing I know is I've got a dozen texts charging to my cell phone account. And I'm reading them off. Your balance is due. We have a person coming out. This is an earlier schedule thing. Such and such, such and such. Instead of calling my home phone number. They've sent all these things to what I specifically told them the first time was an emergency cell and they were not to use it. So I get to one and it says, this number, it said, first off, you can track using this app. And I went, yeah, I have no fucking internet service. Then I get another one that says, you can call for such and such if you have service questions for your service tech. So I call that. I end up in a loop. I end up back talking to the same idiots that Lance had been talking to. Then I call another number, and I get, there is an outage in your area. I try calling yet again. I get another thing, another loop of things, and I finally get rerouted again to, there's an outage in your area. In other words, we can't help you. That's the end of it. I have no way to talk to these people.
Well,
and then the guy shows up.
The guy showed up again. The guy wound up coming over here 3 times. Well, and he said there's a bucket truck down the road that's also part of our crew. And now we're getting into night now. It's after.
No. You missed the whole second time. The second time he shows up, he comes in, sets us up with a new router. I surf for a couple minutes. We check the connection in the back. We don't have a good connection because we're going to have to get a booster, blah, blah, blah. There's all these issues. But yet we have internet. Within 5 minutes of his leaving, the internet's gone again. I get on the phone again with Windstream and get the same Indian party on the line. These people, the whole place is just littered with noise. It's like they're singing and dancing and chairs are being knocked around and stuff. And I am trying to explain that we have service that for 1 minute it comes up, then it goes down. Then we have YouTube. And that continuously works. But when we go to others, we get these other messages. She has no idea what I'm saying. None. I am frustrated at this point. I am so damn frustrated. Lance is mad. He's gone off to bed. I'm like, the guy had mentioned something about a guy in a bucket truck showing up. I drive down the road. I got to the car, look out, and the bucket truck is driving down the road. I get in my car, fly, chase after the damn bucket truck, wave him down. And I said, we're at such and such. He goes, yeah, I'm here to help. I said, I hope so. Because 5 minutes after your guy left, it stopped working. He goes, okay, we'll be down there in a while. Hours pass. It's like 7:30 at night. We get a call from the tech. We're headed back over there. Okay. We go to call to find out where he is after about 20 minutes. Once again, we have no phone service again. This time we are completely without internet service. Nothing even pops up. He shows up. A couple minutes later, the guy in the bucket truck shows up. This is 8 o'clock at night or something?
This is after dark now.
Yeah, pitch dark. They get out there. They start doing something. He comes in the house. He said, okay, this guy's over here, and he's gonna make some suggestions. He goes into the wall of the house. He does something or another with the lines. He goes over to the computer, starts working on it, cannot get the router to work at all. He goes out to his truck, brings in another modem router thing, and comes in and plugs it in. We get a response. Okay, we test a couple sites. He said, okay, now, we need to take some time and do an update. So he gets on the phone and he is dealing with the people in India, Indonesia, or wherever the hell it is, through a chat thing. It takes him about 20 minutes to do the update. Apparently, the folks had locked down our account. They had to cancel an order for further service. They had to reopen the account. They had to do the updates. I made them wait until we went online with multiple sites, with streaming, until we went through each corner of the house, checked our streaming speed, checked each of our mobile devices, had everyone hooked up, and then still made them wait. And then finally they left. I guess it was sometime about 9 or something at this point.
Okay, so
that was last night.
Okay.
Today.
All right, wait a minute. So everything's working fine. And 9:30 this morning, which is about an hour and a half ago, I'm laying in bed deciding whether to get up or not, and the doorbell rings. And I go to the door, and there's a dude standing there with a hard hat on, and behind him is a truck with a king cab, with a trailer on the back, with a great big backhoe on the trailer, and at least a 3-man crew. And he goes, "We're here to dig the trench. We're with Spectrum." No. I said, "It's been canceled. It's been canceled." And he's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Okay, I go back inside.
A couple minutes later.
And I'm waiting. I haven't heard them leave yet. They can't figure out how to turn the truck around. So they went all the way into our backyard to turn the truck around to get out because they can't figure out how to back up with the trailer on it. And then, during the middle of the recording of this, the chick calls and goes, "Oh, they are just subcontractors. They don't know. I am a subcontractor myself." They don't know what they're doing. These corporations are so big, they don't want to hire actual employees, so they subcontract everything out. So they can't know what one hand is doing, you know.
So they can't ensure good service. I have to wonder if the people that I spoke to on the phone each of those days that kept trying to cross-sell things, if they aren't working on some kind of commission basis.
Well, I'll tell you something. This morning, I said, that guy who came out, the technician, his name was Andy. I said
from Windstream last
From
night.
Windstream,
Yeah.
I said we ought to send a note saying he was very helpful. And he stayed after dark to try to get this fixed.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, I'm just waiting for the whole thing to fall apart again.
I know. Yeah, I told him it's a good thing that they came on a Friday because we're going to have a whole weekend of extreme traffic, meaning the three of us will be on it, but not just us. All of our neighbors will also be using all the services. Because the fact of the matter is the infrastructure in this area is so shit that everybody is sharing everything. We are supposed to be an industrialized nation, but yet we have some of the slowest average download and upload speeds when it comes to internet.
Yeah, my mother and sister live next door, and my sister told me about 2 weeks ago that they were having shitty internet service access also. So I don't know what's been going on.
The thing is when you get to an area like this, you kind of get used to having crappy service. When Catherine moved here from Marietta, in an affluent suburb of Atlanta, she had the best of everything. And it was just a real kick in the teeth for her to come here and see how shitty everything is. I mean, we had a power outage on Friday. Our water sometimes will run brown. And our internet service, well, you've heard the thing. The phone has noise on it. And it's just, when it comes to emergency services, there are always delays. Our cops are more likely to have a shotgun to scare away coyotes and chainsaws to clear road debris.
Okay. Well, we've reached the half an hour mark.
Oh,
so,
halfway, Jesus.
anything else to add?
God, haven't we said enough?
Okay. So I thought I'd just have a special episode talking about our travails with this whole bullshit. All right.
The funny thing is when I signed up for Spectrum, I couldn't believe the deal we were getting. I emailed everybody. I said, look what we found. This is great. And then a week and a day later, I called them. I emailed everybody back and I said, this is what's happened. We cannot recommend Spectrum. So this is neighbors and folks moving into the area. And so people now know.
Yeah.
Don't call Spectrum.
Well, okay. All right. That's it. See you later. Bye-bye.